Hi guys, welcome to my very first episode for my very first podcast. This is your girl, Pretty with a Talk, aka Marley Marlin, aka Cherish. I'm so happy to have you guys here. I'm here with my co-host today,
Bo, her dad, the boaster.
Yes, the best co-host that I can ever ask for. And we have a very good show for you guys. We're going to get into some politics. We're going to get into some entertainment, some true crime cases. Just a lot to discuss, and I hope you guys enjoy, laugh with us, and share some of our opinions. And feel free to like and comment. And let's get this show on the road. Alrighty, so just to kick off our episode, we're going to get into a little bit of politics. We have a very entertaining president at the moment who has been doing a lot of busy things. So we're just going to get into some of these policies and just a quick overview of what's been happening.
The Orange Avenger.
Yeah, the Orange Avenger at this point. So right now, as of June 3rd, 2026, the President Donald J. Trump has signed over 264 executive orders. He has signed 78 memoranda and 143 proclamations in his second presidential term, right? Which began on January 20th, 2025. So he has been very, very, very busy. Across his first and second terms, he has passed some records. Trump has issued a total of 484 executive orders. This is tied with Dwight Eisenhower for the 9th most executive orders issued by any president in the U.S. history. As we're looking at his second term, executive orders by topic, Trump has issued the most executive orders on foreign policy, which came out to 65. He's also issued 230 executive orders during his first year in office, which was the highest first-year executive order total since Franklin D. Roosevelt.
But how many of those any good, though? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just giving the facts here. Yeah, I'm just giving the facts here. So he's been a very busy man. Yeah, he's on the roll. Now, recently, some things that really have erupted in politics and has kind of made me feel some type of way is this whole Trump AI Jesus thing. He posted the picture on Twitter. But let's back it on up, because a lot of times that's the only thing people see. People, if you don't know, he got into an argument with the Pope first.
For sure.
Yeah.
But the Pope kept 100. He still keep 100.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I like the Pope. He's from Chicago. Okay. It's the first American one, I believe. And he's standing on business.
Yeah, you know, the Pope keeping that Chicago in him, you know. He's staying 100. He letting Trump know what he talking about ain't nothing. So, if the Pope can talk about it, then we all can talk about it.
You ain't lying. So, I'm going to give you a quick backstory, and I would love to hear your opinion on these things. So, it started on April 11th, so this was like, maybe 2 months ago. Pope Leo, he's the leader of the Catholic Church, for those who do not know. He gave a speech. He talked about the war that the United States and Israel are fighting against Iran, basically saying that the war is bad and that people need to make peace. He warned that some leaders are acting like they have unlimited power.
Dictatorship.
And can do whatever they want, which is causing a lot of damage to our humanity. He is not wrong. Now, the next night, on the 12th, Donald Trump got very angry, when anybody shares their own opinion about him. And he wrote an angry message online.
Twitter.
Gotta have the Twitter fingers. Trump said that Pope was too liberal and weak on crime and bad at handling other countries. He also wrote that he did not want a Pope criticizing him because he was just doing his job. He even said that if he weren't the president, the Pope wouldn't even have his job.
Well, the Pope was him before he was him. We've been having popes. And why you gotta be criticism? Why you just can't take it as, constructive criticism? You know what I mean? Why you can't take it as that? Why you can't listen?
I don't know.
That's the problem, He'll say something today and forget you tomorrow now.
Yeah, he does have. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. He's got Twitter fingers.
He be talking to you
He's
now.
got Twitter fingers for sure.
He be talking to you now, and then he be like this.
Yeah, all that Sleepy Joe talk coming back to you on him.
You know what I'm talking about? And how you gonna be in a session talking to folk? You know what I'm talking about? And you over there snoring. You know. I mean.
And that's just really how it be. So, let's talk about the AI picture now. He got into it with the Pope. And then about 45 minutes after attacking the Pope on Twitter, he decides to post this fake computer-made AI picture of himself. You know, and I feel like a lot of times we want to say, oh, like, if the picture was...
No, let's be 100. Him didn't post that because him ain't smart enough, and, you know, he can't do nothing like that. His people done that. You know what I mean? We all know Trump ain't smart enough to put no picture like that there.
I mean, he's petty enough.
Yeah, but I'm saying he ain't do it literally.
Because it's like you're arguing with somebody and then you turn around and you post a picture.
Yeah, his people did it. What I'm saying,
Yeah.
you know, he
Mocking.
didn't do the actual AI.
Yeah. No, he didn't. Now I'm going to get to that. He did not make the AI picture.
Nah.
He did post the picture, though, which is the
He
problem.
posted it, but we know that we know his brain don't function to do nothing like that. Right?
All right, so a little description of what the picture was. It was a picture showed of Trump dressed in a white robe with a red sash, looking like the traditional picture of Jesus Christ, you know, with the nice little white lines coming out of him, right? In the picture, the bright light was coming out of Trump's hand as he touched the sick man to heal him. There were American flags, soldiers, and eagles all around him. When the picture... This is who made the picture. Trump did not make the picture himself. A conservative speaker named Nick Adams made it and posted it online back in February, and Trump just copied it. But very inappropriate. I feel like you don't play with Jesus.
I know what him do all the time. Him always want to be somebody. You know, being Trump ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? So him always want to be somebody. He always portray. That's why him always lie. His favorite line, I'm the best one that ever done this. I'm the only one that ever done. Come on, Orange Avenger. Cut that down, man. You know? But you know, what do you expect from a person like that? You know?
You can't expect much.
You can't expect too much from him. We all see that. Like, come on, man. He told y'all to drink Clorox.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did with the COVID. You forgot. Yeah, trust me, y'all drink that Clorox, get you right. You know, like, come on, man.
All right, so of course he received a lot of backlash. The picture was online for only 13 hours before Trump deleted it because people were furious. I mean, as they should be. Religious leaders were mad. Important Catholic leaders said the photo was highly disrespectful and that Trump should apologize to the Pope. They said that the Pope is a religious leader, not a political enemy. Trump's own friends were mad. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, said he called Trump directly and asked him to take the picture down. Other big conservative politicians also spoke out against it. The Pope said he was not afraid of Trump or his administration, and he would keep preaching peace, because that is what the Bible says to do.
That part. But you know, all the mega people like that, they supposed to be Christian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The wrong way as usual. People take the word and change it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like The Boys. And I found that I feel like the accuracy of that TV show and what's going on in politics today is insane. Because have you finished the season yet?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, don't tell me yet. But
Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's a whole lot going on. You know, but he's a puppet, though. You know what I'm saying? You know,
for sure.
He's a puppet, especially Putin. You understand what I'm saying? And my boy from China. You know, he won't do what they say do. That's why he's killing out, trying to get us out of NATO, because Russia can't be in now. You know what I'm talking about? Running off our ally. Boy.
Yeah. All right, so Trump's excuse. When reporters asked Trump about the photo, he did not apologize. Instead, he claimed people misunderstood it, right? Trump said, I thought it was me as a doctor. There's a Red Cross worker there. Only the fake news could say it was Jesus. Yeah. And then people looked closely at the photo and saw a person dressed in medical scrubs, but there was no actual Red Cross symbol. So his excuse was basically invalid. Trump's vice president, J.D. Vance, later said that the post was just a joke, right? And that people just didn't get Trump's sense of humor. That's what he was quoted on saying.
But that J.D. Vance. Oh, my God. Well, that's a whole different character there now.
All right, well, it don't sound like he's a good one, so we're going to keep it pushing because I don't want to say too much. We're not going to waste too much time on them, the Orange Avengers, okay? Now, let's get into some real thing that I feel like a lot of the black community should be aware of, and just a lot of people in general, of how history is trying to repeat itself. We've got the Voter Rights Act, all the things. I want to kind of break it down to a few people who may not understand why this case is very important and why we need to always get out there and vote, not just for our locals, but for like our judges and things like that. The county is just getting out of hand. So I'm going to start the story by explaining how the game is set up and how the courts, the Supreme Court in this situation is a major play in this annulment or amendment of this Voter Rights Act. So the Supreme Court rules, right? So I'm going to just explain how the Supreme Court justices, they serve for life, for the people that do not know, which makes appointing a judge one of the president's most powerful jobs, right? So when you get in presidency, that's one of the main things you want to do. You want to get a Supreme Court judge on there, because then if they are someone who has like-minded beliefs and morals and things like that for you, these important cases, right, like abortion laws and voting rights act.
They're all supposed to be biased. You ain't supposed to go for one person. They work for the people.
But
not for the president.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. But this is how it tends to play out.
Oh yeah, like
we talking about reality.
Like he got his in there now, but you know, if people be true with it, you know, like my man, the black guy that's in the Superior Court dude. What him name be?
I don't know. We'll have to look it up and come back to it. I'm going to keep going, though. When you think about it, let me know. So, in February of 2016, right, but this is what I'm just going to show y'all the power play. And when I say people appoint, when you're in that presidency, it gives you the opportunity, because now look at the stage we're in. Trump has all these Supreme Court justices in these positions who think like him, and now we're up against things like people are trying to do racial zoning and segregation and all this stuff. It's just it's in a power play.
They think like him. He just got something on them that make them do what he wants them to do.
Hey, we'll find out eventually when the documentary come out in 2035. But in February 2016, Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, she passed away, right? President Barack Obama was supposed to pick a new judge named Merrick Garland to fill that seat. However, the Republican leader of the Senate used his power to freeze the process. He refused to hold any hearings or votes, saying that the Senate should wait for the upcoming presidential election so the voters could choose who got to pick this next judge, right? So Trump takes advantage of this, comes in swinging. Because the seat was kept empty for a year, Donald Trump won the presidency and got to fill that seat with Neil Gorsuch, one of his people, right? I don't know if I'm saying his last name. So later, he also got to appoint 2 more judges. He got Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett. This officially built a strong conservative supermajority in the Supreme Court. And so now we have these laws that are these major cases that make laws are being unraveled and being changed. So to tie this whole story back, to connect the lifetime appointed judges back to the historical struggle for Black Americans, we've had a long-standing battle with them. African Americans have been fighting for the right to vote for generations. When we think about major historical hurdles like 1866, we have the Civil Rights Act, which gave citizenship but denied black people the right to vote. Then we had 1896, states like Louisiana passed like the grandfather clauses, right? The literacy test, these poll tax to strip away black voters. In just 4 years, registered black voters in Louisiana dropped from 45% down to 4%. So this is how these Supreme Court cases and how they're being amended can really hurt our society, and they have before. We have 1965, after the bloody protest of Selma March, the landmark Voting Rights Act of 1965 was signed, banning these racist tricks and forcing discriminatory states to go federal approval before changing any voting laws, right? But now, when the Supreme Court made the 2013 ruling, they essentially stripped the federal government of its power to police discrimination in states with deep roots of voter oppression. So basically it's up to the state's free reign of how they want to handle and regulate their voters. They won't get any penalty basically from the federal state. This is what this change has done. Without the federal government basically watching over these states, they immediately start drawing up these lines. They done changed the voting maps to protect their own political power. This is called racial gerrymandering. Very important that people need to know. This is when they use race to cheat votes, and they usually do this in two ways to weaken black votes, right? They pack as many black voters as they can into just one single district. This means black voters easily win that one district, but they have zero voice or power in the other districts around them. They also can take a big community of black voters and split them up into several different districts where they are outnumbered by a majority of white voters. This completely duties their voice, making it impossible for black community to elect a leader who represents our needs, right? So that's just a quick summary. Some of the states that have jumped down this bandwagon to redrawn are going to be Alabama. They are packing as many black voters as possible into just one single district, intentionally diluting the voting power across the state. Then we have Louisiana. They are trying to strike down a second black majority house district. They redrew their lines to break up black voting blocks. We got North Carolina, where we at, Charlotte, North Carolina at that. I was just talking to someone about that said that they did already redrew our lines, and that one of our black city council members' seats is going to be up for the takes because of these new voting laws. So Texas and Mississippi, and if you really think about it, all of these are the major red states, and they're taking advantage of this. Trump know what he's doing. They know what they're doing. It's about to get ugly.
But the bottom line is, though, a lot of people that was with him then in them red states, I don't care nobody lying, they ain't with that no more. They see through that. You know, so all these tricks and try they pulling, like now in the mid-pole, look how far they back. Like, you can do what you want to do, you can say what you want to say, but your actions didn't beat your words. And people see that, you know, gas all high. He just told a lie just not talking about, oh, I opened up the strait again and the oil can flow through, and, you know, he just said that lie yesterday. Come on, man. You know, so whatever they do, it ain't gonna work because a lot of people see through it, you know.
I will hope so. Yeah, because this is getting insanely crazy. They're definitely trying to silence black voices and weaken the power of the black voters. And
I'm gonna tell you this right here, like when you watch on TV, and I like it too. You don't see us out there with the protesting, and when you see it on CNN and all that, you see them other folk out there with them flags, get Trump and all of them out there, lock them up. They in front of right now with banners saying, lock them all up, Patel, Trump, all of them. They ain't brown. You understand what I'm saying? You don't see you know what I'm saying? They seeing through it too, you know. Come on, man. People, everybody ain't crazy, and everybody ain't with that foolishness. You know, togetherness is for the betterness.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know.
But you know, these lines redrawing, they just don't only affect our votes. They affect our housing. They affect our education. When black communities are split up or packed away by these voting lines, we lose, like, you know, political power. And this allows, like, city councils and state governments to easily, like, approve discriminatory housing.
As we know, you know, I mean, what's the ability of knowing something when you ain't gonna take action and do something about it? You know what I'm saying?
That's why we informing the people.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like going to the doctor. You can go to the doctor, he can tell you what to do, but when you get home and you don't follow through, it ain't no good.
So what do you want to tell the people?
I don't want to tell the people. If you know what's going on, utilize what you know and do what you're supposed to. Don't worry about what the next doing or what the next say. You know what I'm saying? Have morals. Keep your morals.
So what kind of things would you like to see? Like protests? What would you like to see?
You don't even, you know, just
from our people. Do you want them to boycott, you know, going to get registered, lining up in lines?
Just like, for instance, like the other day, like when we was talking, and I said, well, I'm going to ask y'all some questions. And then I was like, y'all know the reason why out of all the races out here that them folk hate us the most? You know, understand what I'm saying? Like, you know what superior being mean, right? Okay, so look at yourself. Look at yourself.
Yeah. What about myself?
You're a superior being. And that's their fear. Understand me. Nothing in this world was done without us. Can you imagine the world without us didn't make tools? Would you go for like entertainment? Would you go with entertainment without us in it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Would you, the first thing when you go eat, you gotta have us in it?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, even like today, the world is really living because of one black woman's blood and DNA. That's how they had cures right now for disease. You understand what I'm talking about? And they didn't even want to give that woman people no credit, no money, no nothing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But people don't see. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It's like.
But that's why these type of things are important, right?
This
and that's why y'all got to keep fighting for them because we keep seeing these stuff, and sadly, I think the problem is we see this slowly happening in other states, like because you know when you do these rezoning things, like the tax dollars go different places. That means your infrastructure falls apart, your drinking water can get unsafe, you know, it's just not a good thing, you know. So we seen Flint, you know, those type of things are still going on. I just seen something the other day that said a lot of places over there water still is not treated. So it's like, please stop thinking it can't happen to you. That's because it's coming, and if y'all don't put your foot down, you know, it's going to be at your door. What you going to do about it then? So that's just a little bit of a political point for y'all. We're going to transition a little bit. Let's get into some of these sadly true crime cases. There's been a lot of crime happening all over the world. I would blame it on our political administration and all the vulgar repetition that's being repeated all over the world, and you know, certain things. But it's not just our administration, you know, it's just a lot going on in the world. Parents ain't parenting, kids is not being kids anymore. The hate is at an all-time high, sadly, and I love to be surrounded by love. But we're gonna get into some of these cases right now. So I'm going to run through a few of these. So we have the case of Anna Kapner. She was, rest in peace, baby girl. She was the victim. She was an 18-year-old high school senior from Florida who attended Temple Christian School and planned to join the U.S. Navy after graduation. On November 2025, Anna was on a family vacation aboard the Carnival Horizon cruise with her father, her younger siblings, her stepbrother, and her stepmother, Chantel Hudson Kapner. Now, on the night of the crime, November 6, 2025, while the ship was in international waters, returning to Miami, and Anna left the family dinner early because she felt unwell. Security cameras captured her 16-year-old stepbrother, Timothy Hudson, entering her cabin shortly before she did. Her Apple Watch and health data stopped tracking her pulse during a window between 7:50 p.m. and 10 p.m. So the next morning, on November 7th, a room attendant discovered Anna's body wrapped in a blanket, stuffed under the bed, and hidden by a box of life vests. The medical examiner later ruled her cause of death was asphyxiation, which is strangulation for those that don't know, and found clear evidence of sexual assault. The charges. April 2026, a federal grand jury indicted the 16-year-old stepbrother as an adult. He is charged with first-degree murder and aggravated sexual assault. He has pleaded not guilty, and his trial is scheduled for September 2026. Now, following his initial arrest, a federal judge ordered that the case be transferred for adult prosecution. However, on February 6, 2026, the court ruled on his custody status, allowing the teenage suspect to be released directly into the custody of his guardian to await his trial at home. This is a very ongoing case, sensitive topic. You have daughters. And the fact that he can go home and await his trial, I think, is really shocking to me.
Yeah.
He's clearly a danger to society.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But, I mean, what kind of stipulations did they give him when they released him? You know, I mean...
I'll have to look into that. They didn't disclose all that because he is a minor, so they don't let you look at all a lot of the details when I was doing my research.
But, so, I mean, then you got to think, like, what the dad feeling? That was his wife, so that's his wife's son. So, like, how that dynamic go?
These are questions, right? I don't know. I haven't been on their social media.
Like, it's a whole.
And they were just got married too, which is insane.
He did what I'm talking about. So he been the look up and had that down his mind for a minute. You know, and you know, yeah. And 9 times out of 10, he probably didn't. She died, and that's sad. But he probably didn't even mean to do it. He just.
But if you strangle somebody,
yeah. Well, you know.
We ain't gonna say that.
No, I mean.
We ain't gonna say that. He probably didn't mean to do it.
He's 16.
Still, people are killers.
You know,
16-year-olds ain't doing no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, man, like.
Absolutely not. He needs to be
that's,
behind bars. He's a threat to society.
He should be. He got to go.
He's got to go. He should not be out.
If they don't do it, then
I wouldn't have him around nobody, little cousin.
Yeah, okay.
He needs to be on house arrest. He needs to be watched all the time because
can't be around no kid, nobody.
Nobody.
But you know, if them there don't do their job, boy, I got to do mine now. That's just bottom line now. He might get to the crib, might be already sitting in there when they get home off the trip. When they turn on the lights, but with the police, what? Welcome. You talking about? Ooh, Lord to the have mercy. My baby.
So we gonna see how this plays out in September.
Lord to the have mercy. Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah. I mean.
But you never. I mean.
You know he guilty.
Yeah.
I mean, ain't no if hands or busts about it.
Unless it's like some.
Did the camera catch him coming out?
I just have the information that I gave you.
And they caught him coming in. He had to get out.
Yeah.
And they charged him with all that done. You know, as an adult too.
Mm-hmm. They got something on him.
Yeah, they got a plenty on him now.
All right, well, we're going to move on to this next case. This sad case of the shooting of Cyrus Belton. This was the one that was right down the road in Columbia, South Carolina. A lot of people are familiar with this one, but we're going to talk about it. It happened on March 28, 2023, which is interesting because I had just found out about the shooting.
He was a football player, right?
No, this is the 14-year-old boy that was shot and killed in Columbia by a convenience store owner, Rick Chow.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Asian guy, but this year the trial popped off and he was found acquitted. Yeah. So, but the shooting, the boy has been gone, rest in peace, for clearly 3 years by this year. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times on TikTok, for me, honestly, I thought everything happened this year. So it was interesting to find out that the shooting had happened in 2023. But this is what supposedly had happened, the confrontation, right? So Chow suspected the black teenager of shoplifting 4 water bottles from his store. Store surveillance footage proved that Carmack Belton had actually returned the water bottles to the cooler before leaving, so he didn't steal anything. They had high camera system in there too that they could have easily checked, but you know how the situation plays out. So Chow and his adult son chased the teenager away from the store property for about 130 yards near the lip of a football field. During the pursuit, Chow's son claimed the teenager was armed. While off the store's property and running away, Carmack Belton was shot in the back by Chow. An autopsy confirmed the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the back. Prosecution acknowledged that Carmack Belton had a semi-automatic handgun on him, but maintained that it fell to the ground during the chase and was never pointed at the store owner or his son. Richland County officials confirmed there was no evidence the teenager ever pulled or directed the weapon at them. So that's the situation.
I know about it. I remember that. When he left out the store, he ain't had no grounds. Period. That's that law. Once he walk out that store, it's a wrap. You can't go out there and shoot that man. It's just like in your home. You know what I'm talking about? You can't shoot him over. You talking about he try to break it, but if he outside of that home, boy, you gone. You gotta be life threatening and inside your crib. You gotta be life threatening. That man was running, and he was outside the store, and you shot that man in the back. Come on, man. That's blatant murder. All day, everybody know that, but it's just how that system works. That change. You know what I'm saying? And him being, a young black male, which is sad.
Very sad. So the charges, Rick Chow, who held a concealed weapons permit, was arrested and formally charged with murder. Investigation records revealed Chow had previously... Okay, this is interesting. The investigation records revealed that he had previously shot at suspected shoplifters on 2 other occasions. So this wasn't his first time saying somebody stole something and then shooting at them over the prior 8 years. But he had never faced charges for those previous crimes. This was the first one because he actually killed someone.
He hit somebody.
So during the Chow's defense team argued that he acted purely to protect his son. Chow's son testified that the teenager had turned and pointed a gun at him during the chase, forcing his father to make a split-second decision. That the son got on there and testified that. And he was acquitted on June 1st. The South Carolina jury found him not guilty of murder, fully acquitting him in the death of the teenager. Of course, this has sparked mad debate all over the internet, all over the news. Civil rights organizations everywhere, protesters everywhere are rallying behind, trying to get this appealed. The NAACP, the National Action Network, argued that the verdict was racially biased following the not guilty verdict. Now, the jury was set up of a 12-person jury, but it consisted of 3 black men, 2 black women, 3 white women, 2 white men, and 2 jurors of other backgrounds. So it was pretty even, it was not an all-white jury. What do you think about that? 3 black men, 2 black women were on that trial, and 3 white women and 2 white men, and then 2 jurors of other backgrounds. All heard the story.
That's when I be saying, it could be a whole lot behind that. You know what I'm saying? They could be threatened. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they don't do what's right. They do what they like. You understand what I'm saying? So, all black people don't like black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, black people, look at Scott. He in South Carolina. Look at him, you know. Like, I mean, it is what it is. You know, they do whatever to make themselves better. If he can get them from here to here.
Changing on it, okay?
They don't care nothing about that.
Yeah.
That's when I say they done lost. You know, people don't let these folk take your culture. You don't let them take your morals. You understand what I'm saying? That's the worst thing them folk ever did. Let folk get some money. Boy, they went from family to boy. Look at him. As long as it don't got nothing to do with me and my state, I don't give a damn what they do. You go ahead on. You know what I'm saying? But when we were coming up, it was all about family. You did what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and it's making everybody compare the case to that case with that young black girl. I want to say her name. That was killed also by that Asian store owner, I believe. You know what I'm talking about?
But you know, we done been killed by everybody.
But it kind of had very similarities.
Yeah, I would do. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Talk about these lynchings that's been going on around here.
Latasha Harling, the story of Latasha Harling. I've seen a lot of people posting, yeah, her. You remember? I know you know that case. She was also shot by a store owner of Asian descent, and the store owner was acquitted. And this happened when she was 15, and you know Cyrus is 14, and this happened in 1991. So as far as we've come, we've also still here. Yeah. And that's the thing I'm saying. With all this stuff that's really heating up, it's like, please don't sit with your hands tied behind your back. Y'all make sure y'all are voting. Make sure y'all are doing the right things.
Right here, like I'm saying, like these black lynchers. You just had found a black girl over Sugar Creek.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Down the road, there's been like 3-4. We talking lynching, and this right here.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, but you know. They'll put it out there one time for you. That's why I tell you, you gotta read and be looking up, because they'll put it out here one time, but you ain't heard nothing else about it though.
No, we have not heard nothing else about that young girl.
Talking about that though.
Well, and I wonder what happened? What's really the situation? Because all we know is she was out there. But what did the investigation?
Then my man said him and the dog walking down the street, and the dog went over there, maybe to defecate, you know, do him gotta do. And they found her hanging from the tree. Now, I don't know how you hang yourself and your feet damn near on the ground. You know, from a little. I mean,
so they're trying to say she did it herself.
Yeah, they're trying to say it's suicide.
Oh.
Come on now. Yeah, but you know, ain't nobody talking about.
Yeah.
And that ain't just the first one. You know what I'm saying? Like. And then y'all gotta understand too. Like y'all notice how since Trump been in this trial, how many kids shit being missing. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say about us being superior beings, you know what I'm saying? They always want to find out what make you click. You understand what I'm saying? You know, they don't even be I know they're born.
Bitch, this is small.
You know what I'm talking about? They ain't standing, son. What?
You need to be thinking big, bitch.
Let's keep going.
Well, I'm just saying.
You need to be thinking big, bitch.
All right, so let's talk about
big, bitch.
I mean, the truth, you know we're going to...
Let's keep going. So, we're going to talk about the case of Carmelo Anthony. This is one that's a little similar, but a little different. His jury was actually made up of an all-white jury, but we're going to get into the actual incident that played out. On April 2nd, 2025, an altercation took place at Quay Kendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas, during a university interscholastic league track meet. Carmelo Anthony was 17 years old, was present at the stadium. A confrontation occurred between Anthony and 17-year-old Austin Metcalf is his name, under a stadium tent belonging to the Memorial High School team. Witnesses reported that Anthony was sitting in the Memorial High School team's tent when Metcalf asked him to leave, leading to an argument. During this altercation, Anthony stabbed Metcalf one time in the chest using, I believe it was a Walmart knife. The incident on April 2nd, 2025, A little bit more detail though. Hold on for a second. Well, following the incident, Carmelo Anthony was arrested, charged with first-degree murder in Texas. 17-year-olds are considered adults in the criminal justice system.
And they got, 35 years.
Yeah, the Collin County grand jury indicted Anthony on the first-degree murder charge on June 24th, 2025. Anthony, who maintained a 3.7 GPA and was expected to graduate high school, did not testify during his trial. His defense team argued that the stabbing was an act of self-defense during a confrontation, but again, on June 9th, 2026, a jury in Collin County convicted Carmelo Anthony of murder, rejecting his self-defense claim. Anthony was sentenced to 35 years, like my daddy just said.
But there's so much done came out like that case, man.
Yeah.
You know the judge, boy, people, they family. It's so much coming out about this young case. Like,
I would love for you to do a little bit more research on that and tell us a lot more, because I want to know.
Oh yeah.
So that's
so
something
much.
you can do. That's be your homework. And get back to us and tell us for sure how they know each other and all the things. But according to the police affidavit, right, when Metcalf told Anthony he needed to move, Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, reached inside and said, "Touch me and see what happens." After Metcalf touched or grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, the encounter escalated. Anthony pulled the knife and he stabbed him in the chest. And then when the school SRO, right, approached Anthony at the track and instructed him to keep his hands up, Anthony verbally stated, "I was protecting myself while being walked off the track." He added, "He put his hands on me."
It's supposed to be, that's what I'm saying. It's supposed to be video of they had a fight before.
Yeah, they said they had a little conversation. He pushed him, and then that's when he stabbed him.
No. Before that, that's why he told me to get out the tent. You understand? Before that, they had an altercation. They had a fight. Before that.
Yes.
It's supposed to be video. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I say, it's so much going on with that thing.
But then it says after he was handcuffed, he did an admission of guilt. He said, "Oh, it's not alleged. I did it." That's what Anthony said. And then while being escorted to the squad car, Anthony was emotional, stated, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to." And then he asked, "Was the boy going to be okay?" But see, my thing is with this whole situation, I understand the racist concept behind it, the white jury and stuff. I just need my people to do better.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's like, y'all know these situations can arise, right? We know that they've been convicting people with an all-white jury. You know, a lot of times you go out here, you don't have a lot of chances. And sadly, I really hate this for him, but why we have to keep seeing this stuff? And I'm not saying to be like no punk or nothing. Don't let people just disrespect you, walk all over you. But in situations where you feel like you can walk away and be protected walking away, walk away.
I mean, and then
why take it there?
But like I always tell y'all, man, choices. Sometimes you can make a choice and you can come back from it. Sometimes a choice can take half of your life to correct, and sometimes a choice would be where you can't correct because you gone. You understand what I'm saying? And like, if that man push you, if he just push you, you should put them paws on him. And then if you felt threatened then, after, they see the brothers and all them was around.
So you would have rather him fight instead of...
No, I'm just saying no.
Stab.
Because if, like I say, we don't know what happened before with anything jumped
I'm
out.
not saying, but...
Yeah, he could,
Because let's be real.
But let's be real. Say he done walked out before and they still got them put paws on him.
Okay, well then that's when you have to... You don't have to go down in the deep, right? He shouldn't have handled the situation on his own. Because what you always tell us, if something like that is going down, you tell your parents, "Come to me, I'll figure something out." Your mama have a little bit more smarts than you in that situation. So I can't believe you're sitting here saying, fight back in the middle of those situations. Because you don't know what can happen. Like you said, his emotions is high. He wasn't thinking in the right head. I really wish he wouldn't have stabbed the boy.
Yeah, true. That's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody say use violence to stab. But I always told y'all too.
He should have told his mommy.
But listen, this nigga 17 years old.
Exactly, he's still a kid.
Listen, now let's keep it 100.
And he's still a kid.
And I tell you, listen here, Man, back now, let me tell you something.
We're not talking about back in your day.
Even, and I tell you, y'all ain't gonna run in the house talking about that. Johnny out there, what I tell y'all, if that never come in here crying, y'all better be crying.
But see, that might be the problem with the black community, Daddy.
No, that's what's wrong with them now. Because
It's a time and a place for those things.
Exactly, but see, you learning. See, people teaching you. See, you had taught. If you ain't learning the only thing you learning from.
Well, you're on the mic about to tell them to go out there and fight.
No, I ain't. And no, listen, I'm a parent. I tell you, defend yourself. Just like I told y'all. I ain't never tell you, let them smack the hell out you and you can run to the house and tell me. And that ain't never been told to you. No. I always tell you, if it look like they finna strike, you always strike first. Now, when it got something to do with the teachers and all that going on, and it's just a problem, I tell y'all come and tell me. I handle that. If somebody bother you in school and they come and tell me, I'm going down there and let them teachers know. Now they keep messing with my baby now. You understand? Y'all need to get this situation. You know how I operate, and the teachers love me, but it's just how you do. But now for somebody, and everybody know, if somebody keep pushing on you, you gotta stop that. Because you done came and told mama, you done told daddy, and everything.
You can put a stop to it, but you don't have to put your hands on people.
Okay.
I just don't agree with him pulling out the knife and stabbing.
I didn't say I agree with him putting the knife out and stabbing him. I did not say that. That's totally different.
And then it brings up the argument of
that's totally different.
We always want our children to have great educational experiences, right? But sometimes when you're putting him in these spaces, because clearly he was at a white school, It just didn't end well, and that's why I'm saying. And then where was his backup? And at least he should have had somebody there. Where was mommy? Where was daddy? Especially when y'all know, and this is all I'm going to say to the people watching. If you have your child in a white school, please make sure you're showing up to their games, their meetings. Don't have you thinking that your baby out here is safe in these environments, because they're clearly not safe in these environments.
But listen.
They're being attacked, like you say.
Like y'all be telling me, when I be getting and be talking about it, and some of y'all friends, guys, y'all be like, but daddy, they not you. They not a man like you. These parents, and I should tell y'all, every parent.
But that's why we're telling the people now that they need to. So you talk to them.
Every parent is supposed to love their kids unconditionally, but it's sad that parents don't. You got parents out here that don't. That jealous of their kids.
Well, we want to hear what you would rather them do. We don't want to bash the people.
We're not bashing. I'm having a conversation.
So tell us, what would you like to see?
Listen, I'm talking. Listen, I'm telling you. Interact with your kids. Be truthful with your kids. And the number one thing is, because you're setting yourself up, is stop trying to take the credit for everything. Let them know that the Lord did this him. I ain't do that.
But parents definitely, if you're going to put your kids in those spaces, make sure y'all are there.
But that's in any school. You got to be in any school.
Yeah.
You got to be there. I don't care what school it is. Because they got 30, you a teacher, you got 30 kids in there. And that parent that shows up and be everything, you gonna show a little, you know what I'm saying? You know they active, they there.
And then you know a little bit, and a lot of times, when kids get into grade school, they spend most of their time in school than they do at home. So it's like you think you know your baby, you think you know what they're going through, but I've seen so many kids who have either a hard time or they're two extreme personalities. You would never know what your baby doing unless you walk in that school. Like when them parents calling you and they saying, oh yeah, like Jada wants me to call her John. You have no idea that your baby in here want to be John.
Oh, that happened.
Because she go home.
That happened at your nephew graduating just Wednesday. Listen, so they, how they call the names out for the graduation, right? Yeah. So they call a little girl named, boy, the mama back there going crazy. Oh, they call my baby name wrong, blase, blase. So the lady came back there. She was like, ma'am, calm down. She was like, this is what she told her to call her all year long. This is what she been calling her all year long. The mom was like, what?
Yeah.
She was like, yeah.
Yep.
See?
Yep. So you see how they lie? Hey. They come to school, and as somebody, we all was kids. You do come to school and you reinvent yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you get around your boys, your girls, you're a different person than you are around your mommy. But it's like, y'all parents need to be in these spaces so y'all can see how your baby is growing. Because some of this behavior that they adapt is not good behavior either. And it's like, you would never know, because of course they're not going to get in front of you and say, shake that booty, and you know, they're not doing that.
But the thing, but I'm going to tell you though, man, to solve.
But they friends? Oh, heck yes.
The thing that'll solve all this with these kids, man, it's like, you got to go back. See, you got to go back where it was 1 through 6, 7 through 9, 10 through 12. There's no reason for a 9th grader to be in no damn school with no 10, 11, 12th grader. Their mind ain't developed. And you wonder why these kids do what they do? Because they with these peers all day.
Yeah.
They with these 9th, 10th grade, and they telling them this shit, and they running with it. They with them more than they with you. Now back in our day, when you with a 7, 8, you with your class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all all on the same mental state. You understand what I'm saying? You can't get in no car in the 7th, 8th, 9th grade. You know what I'm saying? You can't pull off and jump in the car with 12th grade. None of that wasn't done. And then when we got to 9th grade, they'd be like, well, you know you're going to the 10th, man. It's going to be hard. They're going to be messing with you. You know what I'm saying? You got to prepare yourself.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And then when you're 7th, 8th, 9th grade, my mom and them, everybody be like, go home. Don't you open that door. Or nothing. You see, you going to the crib. Now, they with them all day, they running around. They tell them, ready to tell me, they go in there and get this out your mama house. Or run over here and do so and so, so. That's why they got so much influence. You understand? You got to understand. They with them 9, 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So you imagine if they run around here doing whatever they doing, and he in the 9th grade. It's brain, and he in the 11th.
I get what you're saying.
You gotta cut that. Why would you change that anyway?
So that could be something they could implement.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Changing it back to what it was.
And you can take it back, and that'll alleviate all that. You understand what I'm saying?
Said what I said.
All right, we
and
gonna-
I'm not changing on it.
We're
okay?
gonna keep that one. I'm messing with that one. So break it back up. Now, let's move on to some music. Let's talk about something a little different, a little lighthearted. So we have some major R&B, hip hop, pop tours going down this summer and this fall. Summer Walker, she did her Still finally over. I went to go see her. That was really, really good. Her mic was on, and I will buy another ticket. No, he went to see Ari Lennox. She's also on tour. I heard she did really good. So that's another artist. You know, that's J. Cole artist. Well, or was. I don't really know their situation at this moment, but that's exciting. We have the Usher and Chris Brown show coming up. A primary highlight is their stadium show at Northwest Stadium on July 11th. So that's going to be a big one. But for them, I've already seen both Usher and Chris Brown. Either they need some money because they keep going on tour. I mean, I guess Chris Brown said, since I can't be on the award shows, y'all finna see me in these stadiums. Buy your tickets. $9.95.
Usher, I can't get identified, so I guess I ain't on the stage.
You better cut that out. You better cut that out.
Shit, you over there getting that motherfucker.
Now we got another person coming up. Khalid, his Always Summer tour. He's more pop.
Khalid. Khalid?
Yeah, do you know him? He sings that.
Man,
Well, I'm not going to sing any of his songs, but
I don't know him.
Ari Lennox, the Vacancy tour, I already mentioned that. Kehlani, she's going on world tour. Love her. That's the girl who sang that Folded song. TLC, Salt and Pepper, In Vogue, It's Iconic tour. It's going to be a good one. You might want to get Mr. Arlene some tickets. That'll be fun. Then we have hip hop and rap. Don Toliver. I really like Don Toliver, so I might actually hit that one up. His is running from June through October. He's hitting major stadiums like Madison Square Garden. Doja Cat, she's going on tour. I don't really listen to her much, but I heard she's a great performer. I gotta show you some of the videos. They say she's doing real good.
That's all right.
Then we got Lil Wayne.
That'll be my boy.
He's doing the 20 years of Carter Classics tour, running from June down to November. He's bringing some people with him, like The Game and 2 Chainz. So that'll be a good one.
He can lead the game and bring 2 Chainz.
No, for real though. Look, 2 Chainz. I might actually go to that
Yeah.
concert with you
I know
because
that's right.
yeah, that's a good one right there. We got Kanye West. He's doing select stadium appearances. I know he's going to be at Raymond James Stadium on June 26th. So if you can get the tickets, go see some Ye. Nah.
He might have a couple of them dashes with him.
Dashes?
Car dashes.
Oh, car dashes. Okay. So, pop music. Ariana Grande, she's on tour. I've been seeing her videos. They're saying she's super, super skinny. Yeah, she is back. I love Ariana Grande. She has a beautiful voice.
Right, but I mean, she been gone. So she with the
Well,
movies or
yeah, she
something.
did do the movies, yeah, but now she's come back to her music. But they're saying she's looking real sick.
Oh, Lord.
I hope she feels better, you know. I love Ariana, so I really want the best for her. She's the best. If you like Olivia Rodrigo, she's going on tour starting September 25th. We got Harry Styles is going on tour. He's running from June all the way to December. Teddy Swims, Country Guy, Summer 2026 tour, and Kesha, the Freedom Tour. Yeah, shout out to that's all the music for here, but we're gonna move on. Shout out to all the graduates of 2026. It was graduation season. Everybody's graduated. I love it.
Older grandboy, he graduated Wednesday, going to the 9th grade.
He sure did.
That boy there was clean on the bus. He could cut butter. That nigga was so clean.
Yeah, shout out to the class of 2026. This is really good.
You know.
Shout out to y'all. So the Knicks won. We can go over that.
Knicks.
I wore my orange, but I want to go to New York. I know they're having a ball up there. Shout out to the Knicks.
Wah wah.
My daddy rather hero. That's not your team. You was going for the Spurs.
That should rub to the Spurs.
No.
You know, I ain't with it. Not them Knicks.
Well, we have before we skip over the Knicks, everybody's talking about Wemby and how the Spurs didn't shake any of the Knicks' hands. They were sore losers or something.
Nah, I mean, you know, them young boys, they ain't like that. They shaking a little hand. I mean, but like, what y'all, I mean, they tripping, man. They should have.
Sportsmanship is important, though.
All the time. You
can't be a sore loser.
You can't win all the time, baby. I mean, but like, they making it out of nothing. It wasn't even like that. All of them walk over and not shake hands.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? They ain't pulling.
That's why we got you here.
They ain't pulling no Isaiah Thomas and Piston thing, like, you know, like how Isaiah did Mikey, well, you wasn't around there, but you know, how Isaiah try to do my boy MJ, you know.
Okay, so some of them did have good sportsmanship.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Just not the Wemby guy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he patted the company, but he was just walking off the court.
Yeah,
you know
he was over it.
Yeah, you know, and then you gonna make a big thing. They see him folks, so he.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
Super huge.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't even gonna get into that because you know. Well, I ain't go in deep about that job.
Jalen Brunson won MVP.
And that should have been OG Anunoby all day. All day long. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't even be where they at.
So you don't feel like the proper person got the right credit? Because I haven't heard of no OBJ Banobi.
No, it's OG.
OG.
OG Anunoby.
Anunoby. Okay, OG.
You know what I'm talking about? Hell, he hit the last 6 out of 7 out of 9 trees. You know what I'm saying? He was doing this all the time. So you know they gonna give to him the flopper. You know what I'm saying?
He said what he said, y'all.
And I mean what I said.
Said what I said, and I'm not changing on it. Okay?
All right, we're going to jump into this FIFA real quick. You know, they're coming to the East Coast. It's so funny seeing all the international people hanging out with. I know Korea was in Mexico. They said rice and beans everywhere.
But you know what they saying the biggest thing is for the people that's coming over here?
What?
Yes, just guess.
The food.
No, but I'm saying what restaurant? Guess what restaurant?
What, they like McDonald's?
No, the Waffle House.
Oh, they loving the Waffle House.
And Waffle House is the shit.
They know the Waffle House.
And they say old boy from Germany who was going to the Carolina Hurricane game, but look at him. They say, well, him Waffle House and everything every day.
But you can't get Waffle House everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, they come from new countries. They come from other countries.
They have to be in the South for that. You can't go. You can't get the Waffle
But
House
I'm just
everywhere.
saying, though, like,
Everybody can't get the Waffle House experience. But I'm glad they are coming and enjoying. So we got a few people. I'm going to tell you where the people are going to be. So June 13th, we got Brazil versus Morocco. They're going to be in New York, New Jersey Stadium, MetLife. Brazil is bringing all the South American flair to the NY.
June 14th, Sunday, you got Ivory Coast and Ecuador. They're going to be at Philadelphia Stadium, Lincoln Field. Because you know I know Cowboys, baby. But anyway, yeah, June 15th, Monday, they got Saudi Arabia and Uruguay, and Spain and Cape Verde. They playing at the same spot.
The Miami Stadium, Hard Rock, and the Atlanta Stadium Benz. Okay, Monday night is stacked. We've got the Uruguay squad down in Miami. Powerhouse Spanish team taking over Atlanta. That's going to be a good one right there. So if you want to go see Spain in the A, June 15th, that's closest to us. That's 3 hours. Take today.
But
Go catch you a FIFA.
Woman said, she said she stayed 5 minutes from the stadium, and it took her like 5 hours or something to get to the crib.
I'm sure it's packed. All these international folks is going crazy.
Like, hey, get what you man, can you imagine you like, man, I'm gonna stop at the gas station down here and get me some gas, and then you see that traffic.
No, the people better stack up. No grocery store runs for y'all.
But you can't stand when your ass gonna run out of gas.
That's what I'm saying. They better fill them tanks up before. What was the date? June 15th. Oh, is that today?
Oh, yeah, that's the date.
That's today. It's going down in Atlanta then.
It's going down.
All right, but then we have June 16th, France versus Senegal, and Iraq versus Norway. New